So the first thing I'm going to do is open up Photoshop, File New, and you want to make sure that under Window you have your layers, your tools, and your history. If you don't see those, under Window make sure Layers is checked, make sure Tools are checked, and make sure History is checked. That's always something you need to do before you start Photoshop. So now I'm on my first layer or my background layer. And I'm going to click on the square color on the toolbar and make sure that I choose a green color. The brighter green, the better. So you go to the color wheel, select green, and then in my toolbar, I'm going to select the paint bucket and click on it so that my entire layer turns bright green. Now I'm going to go to Layer, New Layer, and OK. And I'm going to drag the picture that I drew onto my canvas. I got it on there by taking a picture of the picture I drew. There it is. There's the file. Stretch it out on my canvas so it's the right size. And then click, click, make the X go away. Now I'm going to, in my on the top, I'm going to make sure I'm on point sample, and my tolerance I'm going to set to about 20 or 30. And then I'm going to go to my toolbar and select the magic wand. So tolerance about 30 or 40. I'm going to go to the magic wand and click on my window, and then I'm going to click on the eraser to erase. And I'm going to click and then hit delete, click delete, click delete, click delete. You only have to use the eraser once, and then after that you can just take the magic wand, click and delete. Now it's still not how I want it, so I'm going to shut the magic wand off, and I do that by clicking on the brown, and then I go back to my eraser, and I'm going to erase the little spots so that I have solid green door and a solid green window, and it's all nice and neat just how I want it. And once I'm happy with it, I need to save this image because I'm going to put it into Final Cut Pro. You could do it in iMovie too, but I'm going to use Final Cut Pro. So as soon as I'm done with all the eraser marks, I'm going to do a File Save As. And of course, you could also just do a screenshot, Shift-Command-4, that would work. But I'm going to do File Save As, and I'm going to name it. And I'm going to save it on the desktop so I can find it easily, and I'm going to change the format to JPEG. You have to change the format to JPEG. Save, OK, and now my picture with the green windows is on the desktop. There's the screenshot, Shift-Command-4. Either one will work. So now I'm going to make a new project in Final Cut Pro. I'm going to name it. And I am going to drag my picture from the desktop of my computer into Final Cut Pro. And there it is. And now my house is there, okay. Now, by default, your picture's 4 seconds, so I'm going to stretch it out to make my picture, I'm going to do like maybe a minute, something like that. You don't want this to be too long because, 20 seconds is probably enough, but I'll do about a minute. And there it is. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is click on Effects. The Effects button is the second to last one on the right side. And in the Effects, I'm going to click on Keying and take my keyer and drag it and drop it on top. Notice the windows and doors turned from green to black. That's because it's keyed. Every once in a while the keyer doesn't work. If it doesn't work, edit, undo the effect, and try it again. But here it worked. So I know it worked because my windows turned from green to black. Now, just to make this a little bit more realistic, I don't want my windows to be black. I actually want it to look like a house. So I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to type in living room. And I'm going to find an image under images of a living room that I like. It doesn't really matter. There's a good one. Make sure the picture's large. And then I'm going to drag the large picture, so it's not pixelated, to the desktop. Once it's on the desktop, I'm going to drag my living room underneath my house, and I'm going to stretch it out so that it's the same length as my house. And now, as you can see, when you look in the windows and the doors of my house, you no longer see black, but you actually see living room. Now notice how the living room kind of spills over on both sides. I need to make my house bigger. So to do that, I click on the Transform tool, which is in the lower left underneath my house. And from there, I can size it, I can stretch it, I can make it bigger. There, looks much better. And now I want to do the same thing with my living room. So I click on my living room, I then go to Transform again, and then I can make my living room smaller so it's the right scale. And now I can see my living room furniture through the windows. Looks much, much better. And now I've got my house, my windows, and my living room. Now we're ready for the green screen. Now, ideally what you want to do is have students film themselves in front of a green screen. Just for the sake of time, I didn't have time to do that. So I'm just teaching this using green screen footage from YouTube that I downloaded, but it all works the same. So I'm going to take my green screen image, and if this is the image I want this guy to be standing in my doorway, for example, I'm going to take the green screen image and I'm going to put it underneath my house and above my living room. And the reason for that is because you want your green screen image to look like it's behind the windows, but yet it's in front of the furniture. It gives it more of a realistic look. Now you're going to see that your images are way too big for the windows or too small. So you need to click on the green screen and go to Transform, like I'm doing right now. And then you can take that selected slide, and if you look carefully, you can see I have corners. I'm going to grab it, and I can make the people smaller so that they are the correct scale, so that it doesn't look like there's a giant man in a little house. You want the scale to be correct. So I do that with each of my clips. So each of the clips I'm putting underneath the house. You might have only one green screen clip, that's fine, or you can layer it so you can put one below another, kind of like blocks. The reason for that is because I want someone to appear in the window, in the doorway, and in the attic. So that's why you're going to see that I'm going to layer 3 different layers. Is youtube.com/audio library, one word, /music. Again, it's youtube.com/audio library/music. And what's nice is you can choose your genre, you can choose the mood, you can listen to everything. This is all copyright free. And when you see something you like, you can download it to the desktop. There it goes. And then you can drag it into your movie. This clip's a little bit short, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to download another clip. So I'll have 2 different clips, or you could just find a longer clip. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go back to the youtube.com/audio library/music. I'm going to find another clip, download it, save, there it goes, drag it in, and I've got my music. Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to trim blade all of this so that it's like nice and smooth ending. You see that? Delete, delete, and now my video's perfect. I'm ready to export it. I'm in Final Cut. Oh, one last thing. You want to mute the clips. I don't want to hear Jack Black or Elmo's talking. I just want the music. Same goes if you film it with your students. You don't want to hear them yapping. You just want to hear lovely music, and that's it. So I put all the volume down. Now I'm ready to export it. I'm going to go to the upper right corner, click and go to Apple Device 1080. I'm going to name it. I'm going to call it Green Screen House, and I'm going to save it on the desktop. And then I'm going to wait for this circle to completely fill up, and that means it's done. And then I'll take my movie clip and I'll upload it to Google Drive. And here is the final clip. Enjoy. You can find me at elmpplacecma.com.